What's up, you guys? It's Louisa, the ever-growing mommy, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video, for stopping by. This is the first half of my testimony and my perspective of my social media fast. I decided to break it down into 2 videos simply because it was really long, and I know me, I don't have a long attention span when it comes to videos, and so, we got shorts, stories, TikToks, so everybody's attention span is like this. So I shortened it up to 2 videos. In this one, you're going to hear me talk about all the things I was experiencing that led up to my social media fast. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the moment that we've all been waiting for. Okay, really, me. Okay. So first and foremost, before I even start, I want to say that this is where I spend most of my time during my social media fast. I was in my closet a lot, and that's the truth. That's the only place that I have solitude, no interruptions. The kids know when I'm in here, when that door's shut, it's off limits. So my understanding and fasting is stripping away, giving up things that are separating you, or not separating you, but distracting you from your focus and attention to God. So when there's things that are like getting more attention than what you're getting to God, more focus, and really you're just kind of like losing your sight of God because of these things, that I believe is what fasting is. You're taking it all away, you're giving it all up so that you can focus completely on God, replacing those things with back to what should be first, which is God. And so I am by no means a Bible scholar. I did not go to Bible school. I am not a preacher. I am just a mom who believes in Jesus, believes in God and the Holy Spirit, and in the entire Bible. I am trying to learn it and live it. My purpose in life is following Jesus, believing in Him, living for Him. And my passion is sharing all the things that I'm learning on this journey of faith and on this journey of my life. So I want to talk about what I noticed about myself. And this is what this segment will be about. I want to talk about what I noticed about myself before my fast. I was anxious. I could not focus. My thoughts were so busy and clouded. I had so many unorganized thoughts. I was irritable. I was easily angered. I did not have a lot of peace. My peace was really gone. I didn't have peace of mind. My peace of mind was being attacked. Really, really. I was stressed out. I was overwhelmed. Um, and I had this constant people pleasing. I had this failure mentality, as though like I could clean my kitchen so sparkly clean that it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I had to rearrange the cabinets again. I had this need of perfection like nobody's business. Um, and it's all because I had this failure mentality. I had this mentality that it wasn't good enough. I was failing. I was constantly failing in my mind. I wasn't. The reality is I wasn't, but my thoughts were so diluted and busy and with the things of this world that I had the wrong way of thinking. My job performance went down. I have never failed an audit, and I have never failed production. in my whole life of working as an adult. And I started failing at work. I started failing. And I know that a lot of it was because just not focus. I wasn't able to focus on the task at hand, to what the kids are saying. Like I just, they would say it, go in and out, and it wouldn't like really register in my brain what I just heard. I couldn't sleep well. I was not sleeping good. I was eating horribly. I was not really working out. I already said this, but I was easily angered with myself and others. My attention span. My attention span was, I just really didn't have one. I was fidgety, twitching. My body was twitching. A constant state of rush. A constant state of rush. For no reason at times. I was unapproachable by my kids and my husband. And I had a lot of ungodly habits. I had a lot of ungodly habits. So, one of the biggest ungodly habits that I had was people pleasing. Really true. Because I was afraid to say no. I was afraid of hurting someone's feelings, making someone upset, or even I think that a lot of the times that I gave in to people and gave in to things is because I wanted to avoid conflict. I really had no boundaries with how do I say this? With everybody outside of my house, I had no boundaries. And I noticed that I was putting people outside of my home before my family who live here in my home. I was addicted to people. I was addicted to social media in a way that I never want to be ever again. You know, I was addicted to social media. A lot of the content that I look at and that goes on my feed, number one, a lot of it is Christian people that I follow, and number two, celebrities, and then people that I know from high school. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because there was a problem in that I couldn't see. I was not only comparing myself, but I would see certain posts and certain stories that would affect me in a negative way. And these are people that have nothing to do with me. And I am sharing this, getting very vulnerable, because I feel like this is a huge topic that other people also deal with. I feel it in my spirit, and I feel and I believe that God wants me to share this because I know that there are other people that are never going to want to accept and believe that this is them, but will probably most likely secretly relate to me. And by no means am I judging those people, because that was me. That was me. That was me. And I didn't have an example or anyone to like open up about this, because I don't think a lot of people talk about it, or maybe I'm just not seeing those people who are talking about this particular problem. But almost like I was like going back to high school. My mind was going back to high school. Like I was thinking like, you know, am I trying to impress, okay, that's the other thing, is that my posts, I was like starting to see that the post that I was sharing was not authentically me. I was like, I would post something and then I would really feel convicted and really feel like, okay, what was the purpose of that post? Was I trying to impress somebody who doesn't really talk to me anymore, that I knew from high school, and trying to get their approval still? Am I really still trying to get their approval? Or did I post that with good intentions because I really truly believe in what I said? And the truth is, a part of me was looking for approval. A part of me was looking for their like. A part of me was looking for, let me go look and see if they liked it. And that's, you know, I'm embarrassed to say that, but it's the truth. And I don't want to like I don't want to live this phony life. I don't want to live this fake life. I want to be free and completely free. And I am. That's what Jesus did for us. He set us free from all of that, from sin, from shame, from comparison. He has set us free. And if you believe it, you have to live it. I don't think that I was. I was very addicted to social media in the sense that I would look at the numbers, I would look at the likes, I would look at the hearts, I would look at the who saw my stories, and that was getting very overwhelming for me. It was getting overwhelming. It was like getting in my mind. I was like overthinking everything. And yeah, hot mess express. I had no peace. And it was because I was a people pleaser and not a God pleaser. Starting this social media fast was really hard to do. And so, because I was so addicted, I have 5 minutes. It was really hard to do because I was so addicted. I was addicted to the point that I would wake up, open the app, go to sleep. Before I went to sleep, I would open the app. When I was at work, I would constantly, like, while I was waiting for something to load, I would open the app. I mean, I was driving and opening the apps. Constant addiction mode. Like when you see a drug addict, social media was my drug. That is embarrassing. That is, um, I'm ashamed of that, but it is the truth. And I knew that there was something that needed to change. Something was going wrong, and I needed a fast track to find out how to get it back, how to get myself back on the right track. I was like desperate. And so, in order for me to do this social media fast successfully, I felt like I had to do it cold turkey. I just felt like, you know what? And it all happened at the perfect time. It all happened right before summer. And I know that it was God because the summer, the kids are out of school, you have more time with them. Imagine the things that I would have missed out on if I was so focused here on my phone and not here with my family, with my children and my husband. I'm going to talk about how I was able to do the social media fast, how I was able to get the word out there because um, I really didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But at the same time, I knew I was in constant thinking like, look, it's coming to the point where you're gonna have to, are you gonna be worried about people's feelings, or are you worried about honoring God? Which one do you want to choose? And I really truly had to choose. I'm gonna leave y'all with that, and when I come back, we'll talk about that. Okay, I'm back. I went to work. I got off of work, made dinner, went to soccer practice, ate dinner. The house is all now shut down and put to sleep. So I want to take this time to go ahead and finish the rest of what I wanted to share. So, where I left off is that how I decided to start my fast and how I just jumped into it to actually do it is I chose to do it cold turkey. And when I say cold turkey, I literally, the desire was in my heart. I prayed about it. I got on social media, both Facebook and Instagram, and I let those two platforms know that I basically put a memo out there that I was going to start a fast on June 1st, and it was going to be a 60-day fast. I chose 60 days because I wanted to take the entire summer um, off, just so that I felt like I needed that long. Not 30, not 40, but I felt like I needed 60 days. I felt that desperate for my Savior, for the presence of my Lord. I just missed I missed being in the presence of God, and there was a lot that needed to be dealt with internally, and I knew that very well. And so I didn't want it to be a quick thing. I didn't want to rush God. I didn't want to rush anything that He was going to do. I wanted to really take my sweet time. I basically just told my social media so my family and friends could see that, hey, I'm going on a social media fast. I'm not going to be on here for 60 days. And a part of me felt bad because I had started this 100 verses every woman should know the promises of God. I had started sharing that, and right in the middle, I think I was on verse 50 or 51, right in the middle of it, I just stopped everything. And that's why I felt bad, because I knew that some people were reaching out and they were very touched by the verses that were being shared. But I prayed, I just believed that the Lord would fill them in some other way, and that it was going to be okay. I was going to be able to come back and still continue to share after my fast was done. And so I just told everybody I was going on a fast. I am not going to be available on my phone. I was not going to respond to messages. I was not going to be answering phone calls. I just was going to go on a no contact. That's what I called it, a no contact for 60 days. And I really, really needed that. I really needed that for my mental health. But most importantly, I needed it for um, my spiritual health. I felt like uh, I just really needed it for my growth, for my maturity in my faith, and I needed things to be dealt with, and I didn't want any distraction. Like, I didn't want any gossip. I didn't want any, and I'm not saying like people calling me and gossip. Gossip is everywhere. It's all over social media. I didn't want it in any form. And it's kind of hard to get away from because of this, you know, the society that we live in. It's really hard to get away from. You have to have a very disciplined mentality to stay away from it, to reject it, to shut it down. And I was not there. I tried, but I just wasn't there in all areas of my life. And so, with that being said, I decided to take off my Instagram, my Facebook apps. I just totally uninstalled and deleted, uninstalled all of it. I took off Netflix, and the only app that I really kept was Pinterest and YouTube. I don't really get on Pinterest. I kept YouTube because there's a couple of preachers that I follow on YouTube, and so I still wanted to be fed in that area. But I will tell you, I should have taken it off because it was very tempting. I had so much temptation to look at other things other than the preachers that I follow and listening to worship music, and I did fall into that temptation. I wish I could sit here and say I didn't, but I'm going to be really honest. I did, but I did. But every time I did, I felt like I was being pulled in two different directions. Like, literally, I was being pulled in one direction, like, hey, look at this, and the other direction was like, you don't need that. That's not good for you. And I have always said, be careful what you see, be careful what you listen to, because that's how the enemy gets into our minds, and he attacks our mind like nobody's business. He is a professional when it comes to attacking the mind of a Christian and of really anybody who's open to his attacks. And so that's how I did it. I didn't want to wean myself. I didn't feel like weaning myself off of Facebook and Instagram was going to work for me. I felt like I still would have a little bit, it's like I'm still holding on. So I didn't want to wean myself off. I just decided, okay, that's it. June 1st, that's the day. And that's it. I'm turning it off and I'll be back in 60 days. Okay. And in that, when I did give the memo on Facebook and Instagram, I had privately contacted my children and I let them know that, hey, I'm going to be sending this memo out on my Instagram and Facebook, but I want y'all to know that I am available to you, but I will not have my phone as much as I normally do. My phone actually stayed on Do Not Disturb. I kept it on Do Not Disturb. I could still see calls coming in, but I kept it there. It was just easier for me to stay off of it. And so I did let my kids know that I'm reachable. Doesn't mean that I don't want y'all to talk to me. Y'all, I'm available to y'all. And if you can't get a hold of me, please call Jacob, my husband. And they knew that. That was made very clear to them. Okay, and then this is the other thing that I wanted to say is that when I decided to do this, I always have these grand ideas and I always
All right, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here, but I promise I'm gonna pick right back up where I left off. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I hope that this testimony is blessing you. I cannot wait to share with you in my next video the answered prayers, the prayers that God answered during my social media fast, and the changes that He made in me. Look out for that video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Louisa. I am a mother, a wife, a Christian, and I am sharing my experiences, my journey, and the things that I'm learning to uplift and motivate and just give inspiration to other mommies who can relate. I pray that the Lord bless you, that He bees with you and gives you peace. See you in my next video.